The National Digital and Future Skills Conference is underway in East London under the theme Realizing the Digital Economy and Scaling Up Skills Development in order to support innovation and digital revolution. Well, the rapid transition to a digital world presents significant challenges for developing and underdeveloped countries. Now, this restricts individuals from actively engaging in the digital economy. To discuss the significance of the ongoing conference for South Africa's digital transformation journey, we're joined by Minister of Communications and Technologies, Mondli Gungubele, who talks to us from East London this morning. Minister, good morning to you and thank you for your time. Let's begin with this question. Where do specific opportunities lie in the communications and digital technologies sector right now? Minister, I think you're muted. I may be mistaken, but I think you're muted. There we go. Yes. Now we can engage technologically now, Minister. Please go ahead.
Opportunities lie in many areas, Tony. They lie purely in issues of software development. I remember one of the things that came out yesterday in this conference was we actually procure skills for software development in South Africa, and we pay millions, up to $1 billion, just to procure skills. If you look at countries like India, India produces on a yearly basis 500,000 engineers in IT. So it means a lot of software work or IT equipment work that they're supposed to be done within India. Yeah. So just in that area of developing software and other related issues. The other issue actually is purely the agility of government actually stifles opportunities. We need to turn around the agility of government in as far as digital capabilities are concerned. We want to improve, we want to open as many e-governance platforms as possible, also ensure that they serve the purpose so that we improve utilization. As I'm speaking to you now, with a number of e-platforms, we're not excited about utilization. I'm saying that opportunities lie in many areas. They lie in manufacturing, they lie in data analytical skills, data analysis and all those kind of things, data scientists and whatever. All those issues, there's skills, they lie in, and we are deficit in almost all those areas.
Yeah.
But the key thing is this conference is about, we have accepted now purely as government alone, we are not going to make a huge impact. So we're pulling together all the IT industry so that both in scaling and in speed, we make a difference.
Minister, you touch on two critical factors in your first response there, because it talks to the skills that we may not necessarily have in the country, and therefore we have to acquire those from outside at a massive cost. And then you talk about the collaboration between, I suppose, government, that's policymakers, and the industry. So let's begin with the first one, the acquiring of those skills. For us as a country to have the human capital in this field, it's got to talk to the institutions and whether or not they are geared in terms of the curriculum that they teach. Are they geared toward this future world of skills?
There are two challenges. The first challenge is we need to respond to the opportunities that the digital revolution actually presents to us. Because competitiveness is not going to wait for a child being developed now from grade 1. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is to reconfigure the syllabus to ensure that from cradle to the grave, our kids are exposed to the digital world. Here, Department of Education is here. They did quite a very significant presentation on how they are reconfiguring that. So there are two things. An immediate response, in other words, doing with what we have to actually become relevant with immediate effect. In other words, one of the key things, we want to get close to TVET colleges, working with the Minister of Higher Education, working with the Minister of Basic Education. One of the big challenges we're confronted is that we have allowed a situation where people think that those who cannot cope at matric level, who can't do well at matric level, must go to TVET colleges. Yet, if we want to be at the cutting edge of technology, you are the best in TVET colleges.
Yeah. And then let's talk about the forging of partnerships, meaningful partnerships, particularly between government and industry. Minister, we're now talking to that second point about industry becoming involved. And I want to use the example of the engineering space. That's where we have been found wanting, if you look, for example, at trying to employ properly skilled engineers at ESCOM, which is our biggest crisis right now. And companies, even private companies, they have jumped at the opportunity to acquire the engineers who are highly skilled from outside. And they're using the very opportunity now that has been enabled by the Department of Home Affairs to bring those skills that are lacking in the country in order to try and bridge that gap. So what belies this inability to cooperate between government and industry?
This conference actually is seeking exactly to deal with that. As I'm talking to you now, we had no less than 100,000 pledges towards 100,000 pledges with regard to the skills that are going to be attended to just this year between us and the private sector. We are working on this to be more focused in line with the industry, what to call the industry needs. And what I saw happening here yesterday, which is also going to happen today, we are beginning to understand between us and the private sector, there is no lone journey here that is going to make a difference. Already the responses that they have displayed yesterday are very, very important. And the other issue, by the way, I want to raise, I realized this when I was in SSA. You know, sometimes government, that's why scale is very important. Sometimes government does try to send people to train. And even private sector, as these people arrive, they take them away from government because of the volume of skills at our disposal. So this conference is about scaling up so that we are saturated with skills rather than fighting about the scarce skills at our disposal.
Yeah. Minister, I can't let you go without talking about an institution that is critical to the field of communication, and that is the public broadcaster, the SABC. There's lots that has been said about that institution right now. Based on your assessment at this very moment, is the public broadcaster in desperate need of another bailout?
Where I'm sitting now, we are working closely with the institution to make sure that this time a turnaround does deliver. Naturally, SABC, the mandate has been run over time. Here and there could be financial challenges. But I'm convinced that the relationship we're having with them, how close we're working together, we must be able to find a way around. SABC has to be afloat under any circumstances. But one of the things, baby, I'm forgetting to tell you, for the first time, I've been able to fast-track the SABC bill. It is now in front of the portfolio committee. It's going to make a huge difference in terms of how SABC actually creates revenue from the kind of institution it is now. Because that bill separates what to call a commercial unit from the public what to call type of unit. Commercial unit is going to be given a space to do everything they can do in the commercial world to actually make revenue. I'll give you one example. For instance, SABC would have actually seen a product that they want to use which can make a lot of money, but they have got to follow all the onerous processes of PFMA and so on. They end up not being able to. Other what to call editors, they take that product. We're trying to make sure that to a greater degree, SABC is liberated from that, so that the skills we procure are not frustrated by government processes.
Yeah. Minister, I'll give you one more chance. Because that was a roundabout way of trying to avoid my question. My simple question to you is the SABC in need of another bailout? Because that's the suggestion on the ground.
Listen, Koli, I said, as we are working now, SABC is staying afloat, that they don't have enough cash. I don't know how to use the word bailout. They have got financial needs. That's why we say, as we are trying to give them capacity to make money, at the same time, they must stay alive. So they will need some oxygen.
How much oxygen?
No, don't measure in cubic centimeters. You want me to talk about cubic centimeters of oxygen now?
Mondli Gungubele, let me thank you very much for your time. Let's leave the conversation there.
Thank you very much.
Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies. All right.